What's up, guys? Rick here with my 5 favorite sleepers for this week's BMW Championship. So these are guys further down the betting board, further down the player pool on your favorite daily fantasy site, with an opportunity to maybe invest in a little bit of value. Are they going to win the golf tournament? Probably not. Could they finish in the top 5, top 10, top 20? Could they be a key cog in a winning lineup on DraftKings, for example? Sure, absolutely. So that's what I'm looking for. Let's run through 5 guys for this week's BMW Championship. Let's start with Matthew Wolff, and quite honestly, I don't think he's going to be much of a sleeper in DFS. In fact, I think he is going to be one of the highest owned golfers on the slate, and rightfully so. But looking at his odds, 40-1, I think that does qualify as a bit of maybe a long shot as opposed to a sleeper. But Matthew Wolff's game continues to mature each and every week, now with 4 top 25 finishes in his last 7 starts, dating back to the Rocket Mortgage Classic. And if you filter the entire PGA Tour dating back to that Rocket Mortgage Classic, Matthew Wolff is one of the top 15 players in strokes gained total in that stretch. So he's playing well above what his betting number might be, what his DFS salary might be. And if you remember, this is a course and one of the few guys in Matthew Wolff that actually has experience at Olympia Fields. There is a collegiate event called the Illini Invitational that is held at Olympia Fields. Matthew Wolff won it in 2018, beating out Colin Morikawa, who ended up finishing second. He also played it in 2017. So you get to a course where not a lot of golfers have seen it before. Not a lot of golfers have at least seen it in competition. And Matthew Wolff has plenty of good vibes around here with a skill set to obviously match this course. That is why he's had success here. So it's converging trends for me on Matthew Wolff at 40-1. I think he has plenty of top 5 upside here, and he will be getting a wager from me in that department. Russell Henley checks in at 66-1, and he's been a bit of a DFS darling since the restart, and it's basically because of one reason: his approach game. If you filter the strokes gained numbers since just the restart, there is no golfer on tour who has gained more strokes per round than Russell Henley, 1.2 per round. Second is Justin Thomas, then Tiger Woods, Joaquin Niemann, Victor Hovland. These are all guys that we talk about as elite ball strikers on the PGA Tour, and it's Russell Henley who reigns supreme. And it's not just the stats that get me excited about Henley. It's actually translating into results. He has back-to-back top 10s at the Wyndham Championship and the Northern Trust. He also finished 7th at the Workday Charity Open. So you're talking about 3 top 10 finishes in his last 6 starts. That's plenty of upside for a guy who's only $7,800 on DraftKings, who is 66-1 to win this golf tournament. I think there is plenty of built-in value around Russell Henley this week at the BMW Championship. Ryan Palmer, 70-1 and $7,600 on DraftKings, is a guy that I've been talking about all week long, and I think it is well deserved. Remember when he missed the cut at the Workday Charity Open and he flew home? He got that emergency lesson from his swing coach. He pulled out a putter that he hadn't used since college. He basically changed everything about his game, and it worked. Since that moment, coming back at the Memorial, Ryan Palmer has been the 5th best player on tour in that stretch. The only guys that have been better: Jon Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, Harris English, and Daniel Berger. That's it. Those are elite of the elite guys in this stretch of golf. And Ryan Palmer, by far the least expensive on DraftKings, by far the longest odds. This feels like a really good opportunity to get a guy who's hot, flying under the radar, at least in terms of the pricing, at least in terms of what his odds are. And this is not going to be too big of a stage for Ryan Palmer. He's played in countless BMW championships. He has a couple of 4th place finishes in the last 5 years. Obviously not at Olympia Fields, but top 70 players in the world, no cut event, usually played in the same region of the country, same time of year. There's a lot you can take from those past performances that you can look at as positives for this week and Ryan Palmer's chances at the BMW Championship. I'm going back to Cameron Champ. He's 80-1, and the results have been a bit of a mixed bag, but that's going to be likely for a guy who's 80-1. In the restart, he has 4 top 25 finishes in his 7 starts. He is coming off the miscut at the Northern Trust last week, but let's be real, no cut this week gives you 4 guaranteed rounds where Champ can go super low. But the real interesting thing about Cameron Champ is, of course, going to be the driver, and Olympia Fields is a long par 70. The scorecard has it at 7,366 yards. It is the second longest par 70 that gets regularly played on the PGA Tour. The only one longer is Bethpage Black. So you're talking about a serious course that Champ should be able to use his advantage of being so long off the tee to at least remove large sections of this course like the rest of this field cannot. So I'm banking on him being able to bomb it out there, put it together with the rest of his game the way he's been doing it frequently in the restart, and at least giving us a chance on Sunday. Is he going to win the golf tournament? That's unlikely. He's won a couple of times on the PGA Tour, but this is an absolutely stacked field with the top 70 players in the FedEx Cup standings here. I do think he's a more interesting top 10 option, which is still pretty decent odds considering what his outright number is. I was a bit surprised to see Kevin Streelman checking in at $6,400 on DraftKings and 200-1 to win this golf tournament. I just kept scrolling, and I was like, wow, okay, Kevin Streelman's pretty far down this list. Remember, he's a popper, right? You're not going to get consistent results out of Kevin Streelman, but he is going to contend somewhat regularly. He finished second at the Travelers Championship to DJ, tried to run him down there on Sunday, a 7th place finish at the Workday Charity Open, and a 2nd place finish at AT&T Pebble Beach this season. Now, is he going to finish outside the top 30, potentially outside the top 50 a lot? Of course he is, but he's 200-1. He's 6,400. If he was more consistent, he would be a lot shorter from your bookmaker, and he would be a lot higher priced on DraftKings. But I like the way he does it. If you compare Kevin Streelman to some of his other peers in similar price ranges, he's really the only guy who is carried by his ball striking. And that's a good thing, because if he catches a hot putter for 4 days, you're going to see his name fly up the leaderboard. And as we know, that putting, it is the most variant facet of the game on the PGA Tour. So I think you could do much worse than Streelman at 200-1 at $6,400. And he's one of the deeper sleepers that we've ever had in this video series, but I think it is well warranted. There you go, my 5 favorite sleepers for this week's BMW Championship. Let me know who I missed. Let me know who I'm wrong on. Tweet me at RickRunGood or leave a comment below. Best of luck this week. I'll talk to you guys soon.